Isang nagngangalang Hillary Clinton na taga-US ang tahasang pinagtatanggol ang pinasaradong news online dito sa Pilipinas at ang CEO nito na si Ressa ay convicted sa dalawang kaso na dalawang cyber libel case. Ito ang Rappler, aniya pa, hindi daw fake news ang Rappler, narito ang kanyang buong post. The people of the Philippines deserve sources of news and information that will tell the truth. Rappler and Ressa tell the truth. Shutting the site down would be a grave disservice to the country and its people. Tila nga raw hindi nalalaman ng banyagang ito na mas marami ang pabor sa naging kautusan ng SEC na isarado ang news media firm na ito. At dahil akala daw nila Clinton na kontrolado pa rin nila ang Pilipinas at ginagamit ang Rappler para sa kanilang pansariling interest. Ayon nga sa DDS vlogger na si Mark Lopez, "Dear Miss Clinton, the Philippines is a sovereign state and no longer under your sorry as of a once superpower. Plus, you have bigger problems to face than our democracy, which is no longer your kind that you still think should prevail. Just stop, please." Pelengera din itong si Hillary Akala ata hawak pa rin tayo. Ayon naman sa komento ng Foreign and Public Relation expert na si Miss Sasot, US, protecting their asset in the Philippines. Ayon naman sa pagsupalpal ng well-known lawyer na si Attorney Nick Nanyat kay Hillary Clinton, "Hillary, you're so hilarious. What right have you to even express your opinion on our sovereign affairs when you don't even know the fact of Rappler's closure? That blog sites led by the convicted criminal you so patronize has violated the Philippine Constitution and laws on mass media ownership? Do you even understand that? What if China controls American mass media? Would you be saying the same grave disservice to its control? The Filipino people know what to do. We don't need your statement or expressions of sentiment. We are wiser than 10 of you put together. We know where to find the truth, but certainly not from the blog site that distorts fact and disrupts our government. It's better that you attend to your primordial husband's needs, so he doesn't get pleasure from another woman whose brains and mouth are more sensible than yours. It's best that you shut up." Samantala, panuuri ng full video para sa iba pang pagsisiwalat ni Rigoberto Tiglao sa baho ng Rappler at mga Nagpa-Fund sa nabanggit na online media firm na ito. Narito ang pagbubulgar ni Rigoberto Tiglao tungkol sa mga di umano'y pagkakasala ng media firm na Rappler, kaya sila pinapasarado kasama na rin ang mga Nagpa-Fund ng mga foreign individual ng company sa Rappler. A case against Rappler was actually an open and shut case. It was the internet media firm Salt which announced the foreign investments with its headline for the day, "Media Network invests in Rappler." Media Network is the fund created by AB founder Per Media. Another company, North-based Media, had earlier invested in the website, with the two firms putting in about 100 million pesos. 6 years after it started investigating, charged against Rappler for violating the constitutional provision banning foreign ownership in media. The Securities and Exchange Commission last June 28 finally ruled Rappler is countably guilty of the charge and ordered it closed. The decision was unanimous among the 5 SEC commissioners who were either career people or had impeccable qualifications as attorneys and CPEs. Ended moving toward building a strong republic with a regulatory body demonstrating independence from powerful private entities, ignoring the threat of a grossly uninformed Western media alleging the press is being suppressed by a dictator in the country. It declared Rappler as well as the holding company its investor used to evade the Constitution to be non-existent as a corporation and therefore without any authority to operate as an entity. Its CEO and founder Maria Ressa, an American more than a Filipino citizen, of course poo-poohed the SEC decision, saying it is business as usual for Rappler. I wonder how she would look when the building owner tells her and her staff to immediately vacate the premises. As it cannot lend its office space to a non-entity, I urge staff to demand their salaries be paid in cash ASAP, rather than through ATMs, as a bank cannot have an account owned by a non-entity. Well, actually, these poor guys now have a ghost for an employer with salaries unpaid, unless Ressa uses her 570,000 share of her Nobel Peace Prize. Desperate for funds, Ressa solicited the foreign investment since Rappler, which started in 2012. His first task being to verify that Chief Justice Renato Corona was heavily losing money because of the high salaries of its CEO and top editors and the expensive service its contract from tech companies abroad to quickly expand its viewership. Its original founder, property magnate Benjamin Bitanga, also refused to put in more capital. Yet Rappler's defense, as the SEC order quoted a Court of Appeals decision in 2018, was its assertion that Rappler is not engaged in the business of mass media. The CE affirmed that of use in 2019, this court maintains its ruling that Rappler is a media entity. Yet, as CEO Maria Ressa's statement to the world are that the cases against her and the online media firm were President Duterte's attempt to suppress press freedom in the country. The 7 major charge other than the libel charge, all involving the foreign investment she spun as 1,000 cuts intended to gradually kill Rappler. Because it is obviously guilty of the charge, the result of Ressa's incompetence as a CEO, that she didn't even check the legality of foreign investment in her media firm resources in the legal profession, disclosed that Rappler or the foreign funders behind it has so far spent 50 million pesos in fees to 2 of the country's top law firms to defend it, although the attorney's only strategy was to delay it, asking so many times for delays in the court and SEC proceeding. I'm not sure if Ressa's lawyers should be congratulated or laughed at. First, they claimed the investment were not really investment but mere depositary receipt when the SEC and the Court of Appeals pointed out that Rappler didn't have the necessary authority to issue such highly regulated financial instrument. The lawyers recommended tell the SEC they were donations to Ressa and her staff. Bullshit, and you know it, the court and the SEC said in so many words. These delaying tactics have backfired, with the ruling issued just 2 days before Duterte was to step down. Who would believe Ressa's claim that he directed the 5-month SEC members who have 7 years tenures that can be ended only with a corruption charge to decide against Rapplers? Who would be believed that incoming President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. ordered it so? Ressa took advantage of several factors that made US so gullible to believe her lies. First, US media always detest an anti-American head of state, and they easily believe the Yellow's allegation that Duterte is a ruthless authoritarian who is killing tens of thousands. Ressa claimed 27,000, a figure totally debunked now of Filipinos in his war against illegal drugs. Second, to the US media, Ressa is an American, talks like an American, and was even a CNN correspondent who therefore should be believed without an iota of doubt. She is America's gift, the Philippine journalism. Third, given this narrative, it was easy for Ressa to claim that the charge against her were Duterte's way of suppressing her and Rappler. Never mind that the one filed by the Solicitor General, another by a private citizen whom Duterte has not known, and a third by a BRR bureaucrat. And fourth, the Philippines is really so unimportant to US media that its editors don't bother to check the dispatches of their correspondent, many of whom are greenhorn journalists susceptible to state-repressing hey-plus journalist narratives. Many US editors even think we are some small country in Latin America. I am sure that sooner or later, some enterprising American Pulitzer-hungry journalist would write an investigative piece that would expose Ressa as a fraud. When what happens, they forget Ressa is mostly American. The headline of that kind of article will be Filipina Fraud Fools Nobel Committee for Prize. Ressa's saga, when exposed, will put her in the leg of Anna Sorokin and Elizabeth Holmes. Sorokin was a young German con artist who followed New York high society and media from 2013 to 2017. That she was a wealthy German heiress. Holmes' job for 12 years, Wall Street and US media, that her technology revolutionized blood testing, that she managed to get her startup firm $700 million in venture capital funds, which just vanished. I am angry at Ressa, certainly I am. With Lena Robredo and Lloyda Nicholas Lewis, she has portrayed as this past 6 years as cowards, fearful of the 30 and mindful of the 27,000 Filipinos he has killed and personally profiting from her lies immensely. Anong masasabi nyo mga ka-Armor TV? Just comment down below at huwag kalimutang mag-subscribe at i-click mo na rin ang notification bell button para laging updated sa mga bagong ilalabas na videos.